Thank you for joining us for this press event to announce the first annual local hire report. My name is Naomi Kelly. I'm the City Administrator for the City and County of San Francisco. This last year, I've had the honor of working with Board of Supervisor John Avalos, Mayor Ed Lee, all of the city departments who are responsible for delivering capital projects, and co-chairing a local hire policy working group. This last year, we were able to put our heads together, work collectively to implement this landmark policy to bring to whenever we are implementing our capital projects, to make sure that our money also go to providing local jobs to the communities that are impacted by our capital projects. We work together with the different department heads to maximize existing resources and to minimize costs, and we have successfully done that. I want to thank all of our department heads here today, Department of Public Works, Mohammed Nuru, Teresa Sparks from the Human Rights Commission. I see Chris Iglesias from the Public Utilities Commission. I want to thank Rec and Park for hosting us here at Cayuga Playground. As you can see, this is one of the projects that is under construction and that are hitting its local hire goals already with 10% progress on this project. I want to thank all of our community partners, whether it's Young Community Developers, the A. Philip Randolph Institute. I want to thank Brightline Institute, and I especially want to thank our partnership with the unions, Local 261 and Local 22, and the operating engineers. I see you all here today. Thank you for your participation. Without all of these partnerships, we would not have been able to successfully achieve this first year of implementing the local hire policy. I also want to introduce the mayor, who, under his leadership, when he first became the mayor a year ago, it was very important to him to create jobs here in San Francisco and to make sure that our local residents are are having opportunities to have employment here in San Francisco. And it's his support with the Board of Supervisors and with all the departments that he is here today to announce our great progress with local hire. So Mayor Ed Lee.
Thank you, Naomi. Welcome everybody to this wonderful occasion. About a year ago, Supervisor Avalos and I and a number of hopeful departments and union leadership and community people gathered together at the Mulligan playground up in Portola to announce the beginning of an ordinance that we both worked very hard on. And we knew at that time that we were transitioning as a city to be less dependent upon just words of faith that we've been operating on for some number of years, to real-life transformation, to see real faces like the people that are standing behind me, people whose lives are beginning to transform because they earned their way to a decent job on city projects. And we knew that the real secret is for us to transform ourselves as policymakers and program directors. Don't mind if I pause while these trains come in. That we wanted to have something to hold ourselves accountable to the goals that have been loftily crafted in this ordinance. And so we went about the business of working together with the goals, with the trades, with the unions, with the training centers, and with the departments about city-funded projects, and to make sure that we could really have a city-build local hire program that had goals that could be accomplishable and measurable. And so we decided that we would do this in a multi-year fashion, where the first year would be a 20% goal, and after that, by different measurements, ultimately our vision would be 50% of all working folks on these projects would be people from San Francisco. And so this first year was really a test of what this lofty goal ordinance could do if we all concentrated on the seriousness of performance rather than words. So we all got together. We all not only looked ourselves in the face, we actually made agreements with companies like Elations to really get accurate reports, with the labor unions to really bear down on the trades that were going to be welcome, really bear down on our training programs to get the pre-apprenticeship programs up and running. And then we went to work with our communities, all of our communities, to make sure our doors were open and to make sure that their anticipations could actually be met. All of that working together has produced this report that we're handing out today of 1 year worth of performance. And I want to announce today that after the first year, we've hit not just the 20% goal that we had anticipated we would try to do, but because of the very deliberate work of the departments, the unions, the apprenticeship programs, the training centers, and all of the different divisions working together, we've accomplished 34% of our projects with local hire. 34%. This is part of a commitment that we've always wanted to make, a good foundation, and we knew it wasn't going to be easy. We knew, in fact, if John and I had some minutes, we would go back, Supervisor and I would go back and identify all the challenges that we had this past year of tearing out our own hair and kind of going back and forth with different representatives of different unions and still talking with advocates to say whether or not we could be able to accomplish this. Now we've got a good foundation. Now we have the reason to move forward with everybody. And we gave ourselves enough flexibility in the language of this ordinance to really try to do and learn things as we went along. But the reality is that this ordinance is a live one. It's a live one because we have committed people in every aspect of the city and in the private sector working together with us, from contractors to their subcontractors to the enforcement staff of our Office of Economic and Workforce Development, our city build leadership, our departments, as well as the workers themselves, believing that we're all watching each other with the very clear hope that we want to accomplish. And that's why we get good results. We're breathing life into an ordinance that had, in the past, been simply good, strong language of faith. And so breathing life into it means everybody has goals to be accomplished. The most important goal, though, in my opinion, is not so much the ordinance, not so much the departments, because we all have jobs. It's the people who didn't have a job a year ago, now transforming their lives and giving hope to their families as well as they come here. That's the real transformation that we wanted to have happen. That's the real performance. Because when we do that, and we do that with our city money in wonderful places like Cayuga Park, as you see today, under construction with Reckin Park, when we have the commitments of our own folks in our city believing this program works for them, a lot of other things take care of themselves. And there is not only hope, there is real progress going on in the city. And I am very, very proud of the people who have faith in our government to get into these programs and help change their lives. It also makes other announcements that much more significant. Because as we gain the success of this 34%, we can now have a dialogue around other projects that are forthcoming and in the works. Projects that other departments are excited to bring into this fold. You know, projects that we know will result after we pass the Parks Bond in November. Right, Supervisor? Yeah. You know, because the public now sees there is a direct benefit when our residents work off these wonderful projects that we pass, where we're willing to tax ourselves to get the revenue, but we see the actual benefit in more than just one or two ways. We're going to get beautiful parks. We're going to get great streets. We're going to get fantastic cultural institutions all done out of these bonds. But we're going to see people's lives transformed as a result of this. People who are going to raise their kids here, who are going to buy their breakfast, lunch, and dinners in the community, who are going to get their friends to come and visit them in our wonderful, great city, who will live their lives proudly with their investments, whether it's a family or a small business or their own work, right in our own city. And we've done that because the board and the mayor's office decided quite a while ago that we're going to cooperate on local hire. We're going to make this happen for ourselves, and we're going to make sure we hold ourselves accountable. And so not only is this report important, not only is the review steps important and the collaboration, but we're going beyond that. We're setting more goals. Towards the end of this month, the goal turns to 25%. A year after that, it's up again because we continue to hold ourselves accountable. And we know now that it works, that it can work even better. We can get more people. We can double this group behind us next year. We'll have more smiling faces, more people paying taxes, more kids in our schools, with hope that they can come out and get good jobs in this city. I also want to make two more announcements. As the goals of this ordinance gets more challenging yet more accomplishable, I want to let you know that we're going to bring more people in to help us think through all of this stuff. So I'd like to announce that I'd like to lead with Supervisor Avalos' help in creating a local hire advisory committee, get more people involved with us to make this even more successful, communities, folks, advocates, as well as government people. And then I want even more of a dedicated leadership. And thanks to the leadership already that Naomi's given and that Jen Matz has given on OEWD, and Rhonda Simmons with all her wonderful work and her staff focused on city build and the local hire ordinance. We're bringing in a very experienced person to head up city build. His name is Pat Mulligan. He's from the Carpenters Union. Pat, congratulations. I know you're going to use your years of experience in helping us get this done. We're excited that you're aboard because you've got not only experience, you've got not only faith, you've got performance under your belt as well. And I know you're serious about helping us create more hope with more people. That's going to be a continuing story of his leadership and his involvement, along with everybody else's to complement, and that no one is leaving the table. Everybody's bringing more people in because, you know, I think the best thing is people smell victory. It's like being in the Final Four. You know, it's not about bringing less people to the table. It's about bringing more people because we smell the possibility of more success for a lot more people. But I begin today, after a year of both struggle and challenges and reassurances and now finally performance, I want to continue thanking Supervisor Avalos for his leadership when he first said, let's make this more serious. Let's get this real job done. Let's get this thing on the road in a better way. So got a lot of good things to celebrate, but we got a lot more work to do, a lot more projects to identify, and then a lot more stronger relationship with our voting public, that these projects are going to be even more meaningful as they're getting built. And you're going to see construction. We're going to see a lot of people that are going to be very satisfied with the results of these projects. So thank you very much for celebrating with us this year, and we look forward to the advancement of this ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have the honor today, as the mayor mentioned, thanks to Rhonda Simmons and her leadership in the Office of Economic and Workforce Development. She, along with many people from the community and many people from the unions, introduced us to Pat Mulligan, who was the financial secretary for the Carpenters Local 22 and a member of the Building Trades Association. And we are very pleased to have him come on as our local hire director and who will oversee city build. With that, I'd like to introduce Pat Mulligan.
Thanks, Naomi. It's an honor to serve this administration and the citizens of San Francisco regarding this important measure. I thank Mayor Lee for allowing me this opportunity, and I look forward to working with the existing staff as well as all the candidates and graduates from City Build. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Pat. And now I have the honor of introducing our Board of Supervisors, Supervisor John Avalos. It was his leadership, his vision, in 2010 that shepherd this policy through the Board of Supervisors, and we enjoy working with him on this local hire policy in the implementation phase. He has not only saw the legislation, but he's actively engaged in making sure that it is implemented in San Francisco, and we enjoy working with you. Supervisor Avalos.
Thank you, Naomi, and thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mayor Lee, for your leadership on local hire. We are putting San Franciscans to work. We're rebuilding San Francisco, and we're putting San Franciscans to work. Back in the Depression, we had high unemployment. The response from government was the New Deal and finding projects to rebuild this country and put people to work. In San Francisco, when we had high unemployment, we looked at what we could do with our public works projects and our construction projects to put local residents to work, to make sure that we can actually fuel our local economy by hiring local people. That's what the essence of local hire has been and what it was about. We had a big change. We had to go from good faith efforts of the past to create a mandatory requirement on local hire. And change was not easy. I cannot say enough about how much community and labor worked together to make local hire happen. It was the Carpenters Union, it was the laborers, Bright Line Defense, there were contractors, Asian contractors and Latino contractors, contractors large and small that were part of helping to make this legislation happen. And it was that kind of unity that really was successful in creating this great change. And that was just one part, though. With creating the legislation, getting it passed to the Board of Supervisors was one part. The greater part of it has been making sure the implementation happens. And Mayor Lee, Rhonda Simmons, Naomi Kelly get so much credit in making that happen. We would not have been as successful as we have been without that great effort. So we're seeing now what the goal was for this past year was 20% local hire, and we're actually at 34%. That is a remarkable achievement. And that is a testament of the great work and great involvement of this administration to make local hire happen. And I give great credit where credit is due in that process. I also want to thank all of the trainees for City Build who are part of this program. And Mayor Lee is absolutely right that this project is this ordinance and the work that we do around local hire, a lot of it is about your future and the future of your families here in San Francisco. And what you're going to do is that if you're working on this project or other projects you will work on in San Francisco, you will be able to look back and see the great work that your hands have built in this city. What a remarkable thing to think about. What a remarkable thing to look back on your day's work or your year's work and see a park, a port pier, an airport tower, something remarkable that will be a lasting influence of your great work in rebuilding this city. Thank you for that work. Thank you for making that change in your life. This ordinance is here to make sure that we have a pathway for that and for future residents to do that as well. So I want to thank Mayor Lee, again, Naomi Kelly, Rhonda Simmons from the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, our partners in labor, especially the operating engineers, Local 3, the Carpenters Union, Local 22, and the laborers, Local 261, for making this a great success. I look forward to how we can improve on this. I do support the Local Hire Advisory Committee. We need to make sure that we have the pipeline as full as it can be for local residents and making sure as well that women can also get higher levels of employment in the construction trades. That's one thing the report looked at. And I also think that we need to be looking at veterans as well, veterans who are actually in need of great work. So the challenges are still ahead, and I look forward to rolling up my sleeves and working with the administration to make that happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you. As you heard, Supervisor Avalos and Mayor Lee talk about the City Build students and how we We're thankful for you to be a part of this and building the pipeline to work on our construction projects. I now next want to bring up to the stage Jason Chan, who is a current City Build student, and this class is going to graduate in June. So, Jason.
All right. Good morning, and thank you, Mayor Lee, the Office of Economic and Workforce Development, and all the instructors and students at City Build Academy who will nominate me to speak on behalf of our program. I'm truly thankful for all your support. My name is Jason Chan. I'm a current City Build Academy student in my late 20s and a local resident of San Francisco. For the past few years, I was down on my luck. The economic crisis and lack of work, I had lost my confidence and opportunity were simply not there. The situation made me feel that I only have myself to blame for the hole that I'm in. Then I heard about the local hiring ordinance, the possibility of landing some stable work, and at the same time, I learned about the City Build program from my brother-in-law, who was a former graduate of the program. This program looks like the ticket to get into a good union job. And since my family was really working in construction, I thought to myself, heck, I can use this program as a way to redeem myself and to build a brighter future. City Build has really helped rebuild my self-confidence. The instructors truly care and are there for us, and most importantly, honest about our personal growth and development in the construction trade. I also met a lot of peers who, without this program, society would have given them up. People I met in this program I feel are the real action hero of everyday life that make this city run like clockworks. They're willing to work, rain or shine, in the most dangerous and back-breaking fields and make something out of themselves. I had never seen another program similar to this. Heck, I wish I knew a program like this when I graduated from high school or when I was fumbling, undeclared, without direction through college. As much as people talk about the local hiring ordinance and how you have to hire that particular percentage of workers, city goals should not be simply mandate in giving someone a job, but instead to train someone for a lifetime career. This program is simply just that. It creates opportunity for us, open many doors to an industry that many San Franciscan residents would not have dreamed of. We should grow and improve this program together, make it so it can be a model program to train our future and to show local Bay Area residents how to build and reinvent ourselves to maintain our glory years by the locals who lives here. I would like to at this time thank you, Mayor Ed Lee, and the community staff, community-based organization, the local unions. We can't thank you enough for all your support to the City Build program. And City College of San Francisco and the mentor at City Build Academy helping me and my City Build brothers and sisters dream come true. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Next, I'd like to bring up Dave Delatorre from Local 261. As Jason mentioned, the City Build Academy is with our great partnership with Local 261. They help us train the future, train the students, and we really appreciate our working relationship with Dave and Local 261. Dave.
Thank you, Naomi. First and foremost, I want to thank Mayor Ed Lee for his leadership and his commitment to providing opportunities, job placement opportunities to San Francisco residents. I want to thank the heads of departments, Naomi Kelly, Mohammed Nuru, Supervisor Avalos, for the ordinance that's in place now. That's going to provide these the conduit for the job opportunities. I also want to acknowledge the students with City Build. This is I myself. Oh, and I also want to congratulate my brother Pat Mulligan on his new appointment. With regards to the students at City Build, I often go out there and I speak before the class, and I tell them what it takes to make it in this very competitive industry. You just heard from one of the students, you know, it's not just a job, it is a career. And that's how they should think of this. And that's what this academy provides, the skill set. I come from the rank and file. I wish they had an academy like this when I was out there. You know, it does give you a heads up, a competitive advantage. And again, it's an 18-week course. Obviously they're here, and I want to acknowledge their commitment and dedication to it. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming. We can open it up for a few questions. Or maybe we'll take some questions, you know, we'll finish and we'll take some questions on the side. Thank you.